To begin our Sunrise Smart Start with your top headlines, a mother charged in the death of her 7-year-old son in Greece. She's expected to go back to court this morning.
And we're hearing a lot from her supporters arguing Siona Badger is not a criminal, just a mother who made a terrible mistake. Badger is charged with criminally negligent homicide and endangering the welfare of a child after her 7-year-old son was hit and killed by a U-Haul truck as a group he was with tried to cross West Ridge Road against a green light in July last year. Yesterday, community leaders, advocates, that mom, pastors gathered outside the Hall of Justice to pray and to call on the DA to drop the case against the mom. But prosecutors have told us there's enough evidence to bring the charges.
What we believe to be victimized again by the district attorney's office is now doubly victimizing, traumatizing a young mother who made a mistake because we all jaywalk, right?
When I first heard about the story and knowing the family, it broke my heart.
And people trust Siona with their children. People trust Siona in this community. People love her. There was no prior case of any concerns of abuse or child neglect against Siona before Hakeem was tragically hit in that accident.
We're asking Sandra Doyley to please reconsider and drop all charges against his mother.
Badger is due in court for another hearing at 10:30. We did reach out this week to the DA's office again, but a spokesperson declined to comment on anything that's happening outside the actual court proceedings.
Now, also in court today, the man responsible for killing an 18-year-old in Rochester 2 summers ago will get his sentencing. Police say that in June of 2023, Byron Bell Jr. was tracking his wife's car using a GPS device after it had been stolen. Once he found that car, Bell fired multiple shots at the driver, killing 18-year-old Jihad Snow. Police say that Bell was using an illegally owned gun at the time. He was originally charged with murder and gun crimes, but pled guilty to manslaughter. Bell is due in court today at 9:30.
What we know about this viral video going around showing a confrontation between police in Rochester and a crowd of people at the scene of a crash last week. Some are saying it raises concerns about use of force and police conduct. This goes back to Friday night on Locust Street after a crash involving a van and a mini bike. Surveillance video shows someone moving that bike into a garage and then an officer following him inside to go get it. Eventually, in the middle of the street, tensions flared. Neighbors told the officer he was on private property and couldn't take the bike. RPD said the bike was involved in a crash and it was illegal, giving police the authority to take it. More eyewitness video you see here eventually shows an 18-year-old Elliot Trimmer being arrested. Trimmer says he did not charge at officers, as police are claiming that's exactly what he did.
And we're all screaming, he's autistic, he's autistic. The cops are saying, I don't care.
There's people screaming and yelling all sorts of stuff at our officers, racial slurs, name calling. If that was mentioned, I didn't hear it. But at the same time, if your 18-year-old son has autism, maybe the people out there should have been doing stuff to get him away from the scene rather than charging and attacking an officer.
In total, 2 people were arrested that day and later released. RPD says the body-worn camera's footage will be shared soon. Sunrise traffic here at 6:52. Another live view from our Greater Rock Sky Eye. Decent volume there, 490 back and forth over the Bay Bridge, but Main Expressway is looking okay. We will have that forecast here coming up momentarily with James, as we are expecting a lot of sunshine today.
Well, speaking of sunshine and the beautiful weather to look forward to while you're out driving, maybe to your 4th of July holiday plans, millions of Americans are going to be right there with you on the roads or maybe up in the skies.
AAA saying another record for the trends expected. Aran Spitzer is live in Henrietta with our interview. Aran.
Yeah, guys, people are going to take to the roads, the skies, maybe take a cruise. We're here with Mark Gruba from AAA. What is the main mode of transportation this time around ahead of the holiday?
We're looking at it right behind us. 85% of July 4th travelers this holiday weekend will be on the roads. They're road tripping this year in record numbers.
Okay, well, we would be remiss not to mention, you mentioned that it's Tire Safety Week, so we should talk about that safety. What should you be looking for, especially ahead of your trip?
Yeah, for the tires, 2 things in particular. Tire pressure, make sure you've got proper pressure, the tires are properly inflated. Tire tread as well. Use the coin trick, we like to say. Take a quarter, put it upside down, put it into the tire tread. If you can see the entire president's head, it's time for a new tire.
Thank you for that little piece of advice. I wish I had known that. But now you're out. You did get stuck, unfortunately. What should you have with you?
Yeah, I mean, a couple things this time of year in particular. Water, something to drink, some food in the car as well, and a cell phone charger. You don't want to get into a situation where your cell phone dies and you lose the ability to communicate.
Unfortunately, I've been there, so yes, you don't want to be in there. But is there any words of wisdom for people trying to leave? Maybe they haven't left just yet. Do they still have time to kind of beat the traffic?
They do. Today and Sunday are going to be the busiest days on the road this holiday weekend. Having said that, get started as early as possible. Once you get past lunchtime into the afternoon hours, car volume will pick up on the roadways and you're more likely to experience a delay.
Thank you so much, guys. Mark is a wealth of knowledge this morning. I'm learning so many tips. I appreciate it so much on the checklist. Throwing it back to you for now, guys.
The phone charger.
Yeah.
I've actually had that happen to me where my phone died. I don't know how to read a map. And I was lost in the middle of somewhere. I had no idea where I was going. So, yeah,
scary.
Be prepared for that.
I will add sunglasses. Gruba, Pros Pro, looking the right way, away from it. Yeah,
for sure. If you are coming out of the west side, driving east, you want to have those sunglasses, certainly. Throughout the day, we've got sunshine across the region. No chance for any rain. Should be gorgeous there with numbers in the lower 80s for high temperatures, right where we should be for the 2nd of July. Wear that sunscreen because UV is just about at peak. Tomorrow, we've got a couple of showers and thunderstorms, but they're early in the day. We may be tracking them actually during the show. And then they move out, dry in the afternoon. Gorgeous July 4th, upper 70s there, a little on the cooler side before a warm weekend. I've got numbers well into the 80s, maybe 90 degrees by Sunday before what could be a pretty stormy week next week.
That's a big swing from those 50s for those lows kicking off the weekend. That does for us this Wednesday. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes.
Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather.